Hi all, welcome back to Beanie's Hobbies. In this video I'm going to go through the basics of bed leveling and setting up your 3D printer for use. Quite straightforward, quite simple. I'll do the best I can to show you how to do it. Right, so obviously first things first, you've got your printer assembled, ready to go. So you're going to obviously need to power your printer up. Now obviously the first thing we'll obviously run through before we do anything else is getting the bed leveled. So obviously you need to go into your main menu and you want to go to prepare, and the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to auto home. Which will obviously then get your printer into the home position. Now there's obviously several different ways of leveling your bed, all depends on what setup you have. This Creality CR10 V2 doesn't have any auto bed leveling or anything like that, so this is the easiest way of leveling your machine. So once you've auto homed, you then need to go back into prepare. You then need to go down to disable your steppers. I don't know if you can actually see the screen. There we go. So now your steppers will be disabled, so you can actually move your bed and your print head. Right, let's see if we can get you a bit slightly better positioned. Right, okay. So what you're going to need to do next is pick up a sheet of A4 paper. Put it onto your bed. Put your nozzle in your first corner, any corner you start off with, doesn't really matter. Obviously then you need to turn your leveling knob, slide your sheet of paper underneath. Okay, so at the minute you see paper's moving quite freely. All you need to do then is slowly adjust the knob to raise the bed up towards the nozzle, and when you start moving the paper you'll actually feel the nozzle starting to grip on the sheet. Now it doesn't need to be massively tight, but when you can start feeling a little bit of resistance, you know you're in the right spot. So obviously then once you've done that corner, you then want to move on to the next corner. Move your head across, and at the minute you can see paper's quite free, so readjust the leveling knob. And now I can start feeling a little bit of resistance. That's in the right spot. Then we need to repeat that process for the two back corners. Slide your bed forwards. Now I can feel this back corner is tight, so I need to drop the bed down just so I can feel that scratch. Over to the last corner, too loose. Tighten the knob up. Keep moving it around. No, but too tight. This one has been a bit of a pain. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Let's just start and just catch it. Your bed is then level. So what I then do, I'll then go back to prepare and I'll auto home the machine again. Back to the start point. And then it's the matter of having to go back into prepare again. And the next thing that I want to do is, because I'm obviously printing with PLA, I want to preheat my machine ready to load the filament. So once this machine's warmed up, we'll come back and load some filament. Right, now the machine's warmed up. Obviously not hot enough to print, but warm enough to load the filament. Right, before we start doing anything else, I always clean the bread. I always clean the bed with some alcohol. Because obviously I'm not setting, obviously you guys, if you've got a new machine and you're doing this, this is not something you'll need to do first. But as this machine has been used quite a lot, we'll just wipe the bed. And that will then remove all the nasty oils and goop from the PLA. Right, okay, so next job. Obviously choosing your filament. I have quite a large variety, but because I'm in the process of printing an Iron Man bust, I'll go for the red. Right, so first things first, we need to actually prep the PLA to use. Let me just sit you guys down here for the moment. I just get the end of it out ready. Right, the easiest way to do this is obviously to take your cutters, trim the end off at an angle, like so. And then you're going to need to load your spool. Oh, you can't actually see anything at the moment. This is quite awkward trying to do this with one hand. Load the spool onto the holder. Right, not all printers will be fitted with a filament monitor, but obviously this one is. So your first job, you're going to have to feed it through the filament monitor, then straight into the feeder. Not the easiest of jobs, there we go. Right. And just push it through. I mean, this printer didn't come with this. I just printed a Iron Man arc reactor feeding handle. And then you'll be able to see filament coming down the tube, straight down into the hot end. Also, just keep feeding it, and after a while you will actually feel it. You'll feel some resistance. And there we go, then you know it's reached the hot end. So what I tend to do is just a couple of extra little turns, and then I just slightly back it off, because if we don't back it off, it'll just keep on coming out. And there we go, so that is your filament loaded up. Clean bed leveled, so now you're actually ready for a print. So you'd then also go back to your printer, and then you'd obviously want to print from your card that you've got installed. And obviously I now want to print the Mark 50 collar to go for my Iron Man bust. So now the machine is going to heat up, because I've obviously got the bed set at 60 degrees, and then the nozzle will heat up to 200 degrees. I mean, you don't necessarily need to have a heated bed for PLA, but I find if you don't, it will sometimes come unstuck. So I tend to have a bed at 60, nozzle at 200, depending on what I'm actually printing with. So while that just warms up, you can just check out how the prints are going. This is still part of Optimus Prime, very pretty Optimus Prime. We've got his, I mean, it's going to be quite large, hand for scale. So obviously the front half of him. 5+ is still going. Just obviously now just editing the next video for you guys, bit of hot toys. Anyway, so I shall be back as soon as this thing is heated up and ready to go. Now obviously during the heat up process you are going to get a little bit of filament oozing out the nozzle. Simple enough. Gone. Alright, the printer's just about hot now. 200 degrees, nozzle, 60 degree bed. And she will start printing. Here we go. Bed will move into position, nozzle will drop down to the plate, and it will start its print. Now what I also need to check to see if I've actually levelled the bed properly. Alright, there we go. Let's see. I can already see that the nozzle is a little bit too high, but I'm not going to start panicking just yet. Because I've been doing this for quite a while now, I can tell by, you can tell by getting your finger and very gently run your finger over it. And that is stuck, it's not going anywhere. Now obviously if it was too high, it wouldn't be sticking. And if it was too low, it would be spooging out all over the place. And at the minute, it's looking absolutely spot on. Now, if your nozzle is too high or too low, there's two things you can do. One is you can actually go around higher or lower the nuts. Or the other option, the second option, which is easier, go back to your printer, you can go to tune, and you can go all the way down, and you can adjust your baby step. My camera actually focus, and you can adjust. You can baby step your Z motor up or down depending on if your nozzle's too high or too low. That's the easiest thing to do. That's what I would recommend doing rather than trying to level out all these nuts while it's printing. So I can feel that, and it feels absolutely fine. So yeah, I would pretty much say that that's the bed leveled and the print is underway. So that's it for another video, guys. If you need any other help, got any questions, put them down in the comments. I will always answer. Anything you want to know about any of my printers, like say, just ask. I will always help if I can. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.